So other news, Glean, a company, if you've been following, is historically been in, and historically they've been around for a few years, but an enterprise search company. They were extremely well funded, and they have entered the agentic fray. Full disclosure, Glean is what I would consider a competitor to what we are now doing at Symphony AI. So just keep that in mind, I guess. But I think it's interesting. They introduced what are they calling it? Glean Agents, which is a new product that is, here's what I find really interesting about what they chose to do. Um, they are considered one of the leaders in enterprise search, and yet, at least from what I can tell in this announcement, this came out 6 days ago, is that their agentic AI platform is effectively a builder tool that looks like it is predominantly competing with what ServiceNow just announced and what Salesforce is Agentforce out there, where it says they're calling it, I love the language actually, a horizontal agent environment, this idea of an agent environment that spans across a horizontal landscape. But it doesn't seem like they're really tying it in and connecting it to their enterprise search roots, which I find somewhat perplexing. But in either case, they're out there trying to compete in that space. And I think, from trying to put my analyst hat on, I look at this and say, why are you going out there trying to compete with these big giants in this space? And what I didn't see in there, maybe you caught something, but I didn't see anything that was truly differentiated, if I'm competing against those guys. So it was a little interesting from my perspective.
Yeah, I saw capabilities for data-driven agents, which is fine, but honestly, every BI company out there is doing the same thing, creating agents and natural language capabilities to be able to query both structured and unstructured data. And there's not much of a workflow component, which how could there be? Because that's not what Glean does. So I am not sure where the market for these particular agents is. And I think this is potentially a problem for companies that are in the search space or the enterprise content space that are getting into agents. So this both includes the, say, Workados and Zapiers of the world, as well as the, say, open texts of the world that are looking purely from a content perspective, that there has to be more. You have to be able to take action. I'm not saying that these companies can't get into the agent space or that your company can't, Charles, but I do think that you have to be able to take action in some meaningful way for these agents to be useful at the end of the day. Simply accessing more data is not enough to make these agents really
Well, and I
useful.
guess what I'd argue, and this was like, to the extent that it was a criticism, my criticism of what Glean just did is that I think the trick is to use AI to play to your strengths, right? How do you do this?